last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's on second down. Here's Goff. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and that'll bring up second down. So that pass goes awry, but to make a quick pivot, before the game, you and I were going through the list of 1,000-yard receivers this year. Some familiar names, yes, but a couple that are back on the list and then a fresh face.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Now, you mentioned guys that we're used to. Antonio Brown, well over 1,000 yards again. No surprise there. Gronk, he gets it done. You know, let's face it, he's one of the toughest matchups in the league. But Michael Thomas with the New Orleans Saints, really nice rookie season 2016. He made it legit this year, going over 1,000 yards. And then you look at Keenan Allen and DeAndre Hopkins. Welcome back to the 1,000-yard list for both of them because you expect them to be there each and every year. And finally, they'll welcome to the club an undrafted free agent from Minnesota State named Adam Thielen. You're exactly right. What a season he's had for the Minnesota Vikings. A nickel look by Seattle on third down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They're going to go for it. It's gone. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. The 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Dancing to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, that incompletion there gives us a chance to inform the Madden community that we are taking a little bit of a break for the holidays.
A brief hiatus.
A brief hiatus, and the next live content update, next commentary update will be coming January 10th.
Well, that just means if we're coming back for January 10th, we're talking playoffs.
We will be talking playoffs.
We'll be talking the meat of the action, the best part of the season, the gift that keeps on giving. All right, so the post-Christmas blues will be over because we'll be talking about the playoffs. One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On third down, they'll run it with Gurley. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Mark Barron not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Play action. It's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. After the interception, here's Goff. Incomplete. Not that time for Watkins. And now it's second down. Well, Charles, we've talked about controversial rules a lot this year, but in that Cowboys-Raiders game, Derek Carr going in to try to win the game, fumbled through the end zone. Of course, that's a touchback. The other team gets it. Is that a rule that you like? What do you think?
Listen, I'm actually for the rule staying as it is. And for Derek Carr, the unfortunate part was when he fumbled the football, right, pylon is the problem.
Yeah.
Because when you hit the pylon now and you don't have control of the ball, now you're through the end zone. If he fumbles the ball, doesn't hit the pylon, it's out of bounds at that spot. And if you have downs left, it's still your football. It says risk-reward, just bad luck in some cases about where the ball actually ends up and what it hits on its way out. So I don't want to reward the offense anymore and give them extra opportunities. Ball comes out of his hands, hits the pylon, reward the defense. You help cause a fumble.
Yeah, it was just such a big week with the ruling catch, no catch, Pittsburgh, New England, and that play. And that was a big game for both of those teams.
It certainly was. And you're talking about week 15.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Now Wilson on first down. Forced out to his left. And down inside the 15 he goes. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. This is Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They run again with Carson. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through. And that's a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, that's Carson. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Halfback sent in motion. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. And the Rams getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. 17
yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. We have hit half. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Now Wilson running left on the option. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here's Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They'll toss it out to Carson. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And down inside the 15 he goes. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run it with Carson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there, taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it's 21-3. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Goff on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to air it out deep for... That's caught inside the 20. Back now in Los Angeles. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. From the red zone now, Goff. Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the ground game here, Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Throwing on third, Goff. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. The 30, past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham, 73 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Play action. Here's Goff. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Mike Bennett in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now it's Carson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And some room to maneuver. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown.